Vanessa always dreamed of leaving her poor village behind. She grew up in a small village in Nigeria where life was hard and she had very little. She wanted a life full of riches and comfort. When she moved to Lagos City, she thought her dreams would come true, but the city was not as easy as she expected. Vanessa struggled to survive. She did different small jobs, but nothing lasted. The life of wealth she dreamed of seemed far away, until one day she met her old friend Sarah. Sarah also grew up in the same village, but now she was rich, living in a big house, driving fancy cars, and traveling to beautiful places. Vanessa was curious and jealous. She couldn't wait to ask Sarah how she became so rich. They met for lunch, and Vanessa couldn't hold back her questions. "Sarah, how did you make all this money? How can I do it too?" Vanessa asked. Sarah smiled and said, "Lagos is full of opportunities, but those opportunities come with a cost." Vanessa leaned in closer. "What kind of cost?" Sarah looked around to make sure no one was listening, then whispered, "There's a man, a Baba. He helped me. But you have to do exactly what he says if you want to be rich." Vanessa's heart beat faster. She had heard about witch doctors before and the troubles that came with them, but she wanted a better life so badly that she agreed to meet Baba. The next day, Sarah took Vanessa to Baba. He was an old man who lived outside Lagos in a small hut filled with strange things like masks and herbs. Baba looked at Vanessa and said, "If you want wealth, you must take the luck of powerful men. Sleep with them and their success will become yours. But never eat snails. If you eat snails, you will lose all the luck you have taken." Vanessa was nervous but excited. She promised Baba she would follow his rules and never eat snails. From that day, Vanessa started to use Baba's charm. She met wealthy men, and with each man, her luck grew. She bought big houses, expensive cars, and beautiful clothes. But with all her riches, Vanessa kept one big secret. Every time she was invited to dinner, she would lie and say she was allergic to seafood, just to avoid eating snails. Vanessa's life was perfect, or so she thought. Then she met Richard. Richard was different from the other men. He was kind, handsome, successful, and a Christian. Vanessa wanted to use him to take more luck, but Richard wasn't like the others. He didn't fall for her tricks. Richard was serious about his faith and told Vanessa he wouldn't have sex before marriage. Vanessa was frustrated but decided to wait. Richard talked about marrying her. And although Vanessa didn't really care about him, she played along. One evening, Richard invited Vanessa to his house for a special dinner. The table was set with candles and everything seemed perfect. Vanessa thought this was her chance to get all of Richard's luck. They began to eat and everything was going well until Richard said something that made Vanessa's heart stop. "I made the meal special tonight. I added diced snails," he said, smiling. Vanessa froze. She had eaten snails without knowing it. Panic filled her mind. I can't eat snails," she said, pushing the plate away. "I'm allergic." Richard looked confused. "You've never said that before," he replied, watching her carefully. Vanessa's hand started to shake. She realized her secret might come out. Richard, sensing something was wrong, quietly began to pray. As he prayed, Vanessa felt something heavy inside her chest, like something dark was being pulled away. She couldn't hold it in any longer. She started to cry and told Richard the truth. "I made a deal with Baba. I've been using men for their luck. But now I've eaten snails and it's all over," she sobbed. Richard listened, hurt but kind. He prayed for her asking God to free her from the curse. But despite his prayers, the luck and wealth Vanessa had stolen started to fade. The men she once controlled stopped calling her. Her charm was gone, and her luxurious life disappeared. Richard, though deeply hurt, knew he couldn't marry Vanessa. She had lied to him, and he felt betrayed. Not long after, Richard married another woman, someone who shared his faith. Even though Vanessa lost everything, Richard continued to pray for her from afar. He checked on her sometimes, offering support, but she had to rebuild her life on her own. In the end, Vanessa learned that real success comes from hard work and honesty. She realized that shortcuts only lead to more problems. But what about you? Would you have made the same deal with Baba? Do you think Richard was right not to marry Vanessa? Tell me what you think in the comments below. Thank you for listening to today's story. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more African tales. Stay safe and keep the stories alive.